Welcome to part 14, everyone, and we're still going through Woodfall Temple. And in the last video, we had to lit this torch right here because what we're going to do now is I'm going to take another Deku stick, leap over this chasm. Link is... and why is Link acrobatic? I don't know. Well, anyway, you want to go here to the spider's web and burn it with the stick. And the moths go towards this flame, which is, yeah. Anyway, folks, if you want to refill your Deku Stick and Deku Nugs, there are two versions of the Deku Babas to accommodate you. So, have at it. And once we get resupplied here, we can just... let's just check my inventory here. Alright. Anyway, folks, we just go up these stairs to our next destination. And a lot of evil here, Tattle. And all of a sudden, things went... This room went dark, and it's spooky. Anyway, folks, what we have here right now, these little black balls with eyeballs, they're known as bows. Now, the bow, they come in like packs of 7 or so, and they can come from the deep, dark places. Now, generally, their only method of attack is to just leap onto you and bump into you, and they don't even take that much damage. So, as you can see here, there's a sealed door here, and there's a lit torch in the middle. So, put two and two together. Well, we have to lit torches in here to open the doors, and as you can see, it is dark as heck. I can't see where all the torches are, so plus these bows can be so freaking annoying. And let's see here, and when we light all 3 torches right here, the door will unseal itself and we can proceed on forward. So, stupid bows. Now, we can go ahead and move on to the next room, but there's something that I forgot in the last room with all the bows, and as you can see on the lower right corner of my map, yeah, whenever you get the dungeon map, you'll be able to see the location of where you're at, and also that little brown spot on the map, that's a treasure chest. That's all thanks to us getting the compass earlier. So, obviously, well, the only way to get the treasure chest, well, it's hidden right now. So the only way to get the treasure chest is go back into the room, defeat every single one of these bows, because killing enemies reveals treasure as a reward for the worthy. So something like that. Of course, I keep forgetting that I have a map on my lower right corner, so I just wander around for a little bit, and yeah, open this chest, and we get another stray fairy. We've rescued another piece of the Great Fairy. Hooray! Now we can move on forward to the next room and leave this dark and creepy place. Alright, the gimmick for this next room here is, well, obviously we have to become a Deku Scrub, use these flowers to zoom across the room. However, there are dragonflies there ready to knock us off at any given moment. And obviously my Bubble Blast has limited range, and, well, I can't shoot them. I can go ahead and risk getting onto this next platform, which will allow me to get in closer to the dragonflies and allow me to take them out, so I won't risk falling down to the ground. Anytime now, you have to time your things perfectly with the platforms, or else you could miss them and you can fall to the ground below. Like there, right there. Oh, and these holes right there, there are holes on the ground. And if you fall down one of these holes, you will fall down to the room below, and you have to backtrack all the way up here, and that would suck. But it's really a blessing that I fell down right here, so I can take out these dragonflies, and then I can proceed forward with no impending difficulties. Yay. So, clear of enemies at last. We can now proceed on forward and This shouldn't be too hard. I mean, I've mastered the Deku Scrub Playground. Well, it's just a matter of watching the direction of the platform, see how they move, and then launch when ready. And can we make it? Can we make it? Ah! See, that's the one problem with this thing. You just see when you land on the platform, you gotta let go of the control stick, or else if you accidentally move forward, you'll fall down to the ground, and that's. I mean, this is terrible. I mastered the Deku Scrub Playground. I should get through this better than I should be master at this. There we go. Anyway, I like to mention about these dungeons. Anyway, these Zelda dungeons. Now they all have different themes to them, different variations. There are some forest dungeons, there are some fire dungeons, there are some water dungeons, ice dungeons. Basically various dungeons and temples, but they all have the same basic gimmick. Excuse me. All you have to do is go through the temple, you collect the dungeon map, you collect the compass to find treasure, you have to solve puzzles and find enemies, and we also have to find in every dungeon a special item that can be like a weapon or something that will help us progress through the temple and through the game. And this place is no different. We have already found the dungeon map and the compass, and we're going to find that special item right now. Anyway, this switch right here, step on it, and a pair of ladders will appear, which will provide easy access back to the first floor. Blech. Can't talk. And that is convenient. That means I don't have to go through that whole Deku room and that black bow room ever again. That's fun. That is fantastic. So anyway, folks, usually when we get special items, we have to fight mini bosses. So we're on our way to fight one right now. Now, mini bosses are usually hard. They're accompanied by their own special music to imply, oh, danger, danger, and all that stuff. But yeah, I think it just adds to the epicness of this game, and well, I'll show you in just a bit. Let's enter this door right here, and door seals behind us. And oh boy, this is the Dino Foal. The Dino Foal is an enemy that has appeared in the previous game, Ocarina of Time, well, in the late stages of Ocarina of Time, and they can attack, they can strike, and they didn't breathe fire in that game. In this game, they appear more vicious, they are more heavily armored, they have big swords, and they are really vicious. So basically, in order to fight this guy, you have to try and hit him, and whenever you hit him, he'll breathe fire, and if you're Deku Link, it's extremely bad if he breathes fire while you're in Deku form, because wood catches on fire, and well, basically you'll get hurt a lot. So what I basically like to do is keep a good distance. He'll try and jump over you and strike you from behind, and he'll breathe fire after every time you hit him, or if you go a certain distance. So you just strike him, and when you're open, so just keep striking him. Don't let your guard down, and you should beat him just like that. Door and seals, and we get a big treasure chest. Now let's see what kind of dungeon item we get. Tense moment, folks. Tense moment. Link is opening the chest. He reaches in and he gets a hero's bow. Oh, at long last, we have an item that can shoot things without being in Deku mode. No more bubble blast. Hooray! And see, it comes complete with 30 arrows. Isn't that exciting? And I want to let you know that this is the first time that young Link can use the hero's bow. Now in Ocarina of Time, Link can use the hero's bow, but he had to be an adult. Now, when Link was a kid, he had to use an item called the slingshot, which shoots a bunch of pellets everywhere, and yeah. But in this game, young Link can just get the hero's bow, and he can shoot things right away. He can shoot, well, trying to shoot them. Well, as you can see, I'm missing right now. What I'm trying to do right here is I'm trying to shoot this eye switch, because when you do, the Deku platform in the middle of this room will start rising up and down, and it will provide you with an easy access to the second floor in this room. And it can be useful if we ever want to come back here and get to certain rooms that we couldn't before. Spoiler, we'll be coming back to this temple to get something special, and this will be most useful in the future. Just to let you know. Alright, anyway, what we want to do is take the flower to this Deku flower platform raising up and down. And then when the platform gets to its highest point, launch, and then you will reach the room on the other side. Now another gimmick of these Zelda dungeons is we have to find something called the boss key. The boss key will allow us to get into this dungeon's main boss room, where we can defeat the boss and clear the temple once and for all. The door seal's behind me, and oh my god, we have another mini boss, 2 mini bosses in the same dungeon. That's actually a rare occurrence. Anyway, folks. Folks, meet the Gecko. Gecko is this giant mutant frog thingy, and what I've done here is I put on the bunny hood so I can get enough distance between him and myself. And when you strike him 3 times, he'll call for a little backup in the form of a giant snapper. The Gecko will mount the giant snapper, and like all its little brothers, the snapper will follow you and try and damage you. So I'm employing the same strategy I've done with all other snappers. I use my Deku form, dig myself into a Deku flower, and knock him over. Now when a Gecko is knocked off his steed, you have to walk onto him and shoot him with an arrow, because he'll go scurrying all the walls, and as soon as you damage him once, he'll remount the snapper, and the process will begin again. So yeah, that clock, those bells ringing right now, it's to remind you folks that even though that we are in a temple, we're fighting for the very future of this land, we're still under the 3-day time limit, so we don't want to dilly-dally here too long, nor that you want to. Yeah. As you can see here, I want to explain this whole this whole targeting system right now. So, usually in Ocarina of Time and in this game, Majora's Mask, your fairy companion will fly over to an enemy and now allow you to focus on said enemy. And usually you attack it, you can strike it, you can get a clear shot. Unlike right now, I keep missing and wasting arrows, but as long as your fairy locks on to a certain item, you can focus in on it, and your improvement in striking said target would be, well, you'll get better accuracy, and you'll barely miss. You'll barely miss it. Anyway, I also noticed that in other games like Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, you don't have a fairy type companion to lock onto enemies so you can better strike them, and that's kind of odd because, well, I don't know, maybe it's because they're copying the same Zelda formula for 3D games and they thought it'd be a little easier, so whatever. Anyway, folks, after you shoot the Gecko 3 times, you defeat him, and he turns back into a frog? An ordinary frog. That's odd. Anyway, the doors will unseal, and well, let's check this out. Let's check out the frog. Froggy? Froggy? Ribbit? Come on, Froggy! Ribbit, talk to me, Froggy! Why did you turn into this mutant thing? Anyway, folks, go in this room right here, and this fancy looking treasure chest is the location of our boss key, and so only be used in this temple. Duh. So, like I was saying earlier about the fairy lock-on system, you target a certain enemy, you get Link focuses on that one enemy, and he can have a better chance of killing it without being distracted by other things, other surroundings. So, yeah. So now that we have our boss key, well, we have to find a room that contains the boss lock. The boss lock would be this big old door encased in chains that match the boss key. So right now we're going to find it. Now, what you want to do here is get inside the Deku flower and launch yourself over to this corner right here. And we're done with this room, so Tao will point out that to this big old shrine that we've been seeing throughout this main room area. And we have a better view of the shrine below. And you also notice here that there is a torch burning, and it just so happens to be at an angle. And if you have noticed the big old shrine thing in the middle, it also has a torch thing. Now, of course, what do we do about it? Do we use a Deku stick to hop over and then hop over to the shrine? Well, not exactly. Turns out that our arrows here are made of wood, and wood and fire interact, and basically the point is, folks, we're at an angle where we can shoot an arrow through this fire that will land in the torch area in the middle, and by doing so, it will cause a chain reaction that will completely change the temple for the better. Yeah, I know, ashes and whatnot. So, folks, in the next part, I will activate the shrine and see what happens. See ya!